So difference between Active Directory, LDAP, IDM, Winbind, Open LDAP, what are all these directory services are? What are the protocols? I'm so confused. Please help me which directory to use for my system. If I have Linux, do I use Active Directory? Do I use LDAP, which is not actually a directory service? So a lot of people have that confusion. So I have added this lesson specifically for those people who want to learn more about directory services so I could help them, they would be able to implement in their environment. So the first one and the top one I would say, which I really like, is the Active Directory, is for Microsoft. Microsoft is the owner, and who has built this product. When you have thousands of Windows computers, you do need accounts to be authenticated against Active Directory server. So they have implemented or built an Active Directory product. So why it is so important in Windows as compared to Linux, as I explained it before, Linux is mostly used in corporate environment for only system administrators or developers or QA people. Very few limited people, and the users who actually need to log in, they use the application to log in. So let's look at example. For example, let's say you go to Facebook. You have your account, right? Now, do you think when you log into your account, by the way, Facebook behind the scene running Linux. So when you log into Facebook and you log into your your email address, your password, do you think that account information is saved in your Linux? No, it is saved in some kind of database, and that database is communicating with your client, you are the client on the other side. So you log in, it gets authenticated to another machine. It's not a Linux local account. It's some kind of Active Directory or directory services that they are running. It gets authenticated, and that's how you are able to log in. Same way in Windows works with Active Directory and used and built by Microsoft. Then we have IDM. Now, okay, so Active Directory is used in Windows environment. What about Linux? Well, not to worry about it. Red Hat, which is, as I explained before, is a corporate level operating system, enterprise level. They have to come up with something else too to maintain their users. Now, Imran, you just said that you don't really need users in Linux. Then why do we need IDM? I said that, but what about the bigger companies? What about those companies who have, like, let's say, 100 system administrators working for them? Then, of course, you wanted to create user accounts on a separate Active Directory type of way, right? So, for that, Red Hat built this product called IDM, which is an abbreviation for Identity Manager. This is it available in CentOS? I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'll look it up. So it is definitely available in Red Hat. Now, also another thing, that some of the Identity Manager features are available in CentOS that I know, but a complete product, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, look it up, go Google it, and see how Identity Manager works. Then we have Winbind. Now, what is a Winbind? Is that directory service? Is there some kind of directory out there that's called Winbind? No. So what happened is Samba, you guys probably have heard of Samba, right? Samba came up with this add-on feature, or you call it component, in Linux that allows Linux users to get authenticated against Windows Active Directory. Hmm, what did I just say? Okay, I'll explain it in a simpler way. If you have Active Directory users and they wanted to log into Linux machine, they cannot because Windows only talk to Windows. So how can I log into Linux machine? Well, then you need some kind of a communicator, messenger in the middle. So Samba, of course, it's open source. Samba created this product called Winbind, which allows Windows users or Windows Active Directory users to log into Linux machines using Winbind. How does it work? You could just go into your Linux machine, you install, download Winbind, and configure it. And there are a few things that you have to make changes to your machine, and it will start getting authenticated to the Active Directory. Is it a long process? No, it's not. If you read the documentation, there are so many documentation online that you could use to configure your Linux machine to get Winbind working that will get authenticated for your users from Active Directory Microsoft. Then we have Open LDAP. Huh, LDAP I know. What is Open LDAP? Now you guys need to make a difference between LDAP and Open LDAP. Once again, I'm going to say that again. LDAP is a protocol. Again, it stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. But in Linux, we need some kind of open source Open LDAP because IDM is a product from by Red Hat that you need to buy. What if I don't want to buy it? What if I just wanted to test it? Then there is a product called Open LDAP. You could simply download and install or yum install Open LDAP. By the way, I will cover Open LDAP installation in Linux in my module 7 because in module 7 we are going to enable Linux for internet access, and that's how we will download all the packages. We'll do package management, all that stuff. So I have put this Open LDAP lesson in that module. So remember, if you need to come back to this lesson to relate to that module 7 lesson, you could do that. So again, going back to my point, Open LDAP is a directory services just like Active Directory, just like IDM. It's open source and it is specifically used for Linux or Unix type of environment. Then we have IBM Directory Services. So there is a product by IBM. It's their own proprietary product which they sell to the customers. So if your company is looking to buy or looking to implement a directory services to your environment, you could also look into the IBM. I never heard, I never used IBM before, but I heard many good things about it. So you should try it, look it up online. Also, there's another one, Jump Cloud, which is also serves as a like a directory as a service. You can look it up. And at the end, I put it in LDAP. I am re-emphasizing right here, guys. LDAP is not a directory service, it's just a protocol. So don't confuse that. It stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. If you are downloading any of the above directory service or directory structure in your Linux or Windows, you need a protocol to communicate to it, and that protocol is called LDAP. So once again, I'm gonna add that I will be installing Open LDAP in my module 7. So you could right now you could just wait on it or make a note, and once you get to module 7, then you'll see the Open LDAP installation, download and installation. So anyway, hopefully this has cleared up a lot of confusion for those people who actually confusing Active Directory, LDAP, and Winbind and IDM. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to send me an email or message me. I'm always here to help.